Hi, in this section we're gonna learn some of the basics of C++ programming, and it includes what is the functions, what are the special symbols that we are going to be using in a programming language, and then we're gonna learn what is programming language as well, and we will explore what are some of the data types and variables that we are going to be using, and we're gonna discover how to use the arithmetic operators and examine a program evaluates the arithmetic expressions as well. And we're gonna learn what is an assignment statement it is and what it does, and we're gonna learn about the string data type, how it is going to be working in the C++ programming. So function, it's basically a collection of statements or a block of code that it performs a task. It can be called and reused multiple times. You can pass the information into the function and it can send back information as well. Maybe it's a predefined function or it's a standard function as well available in the C++ programming. Coming to the syntax, it rules that specify which statements are legal. Programming language, it's a very set of rules and special symbols and special words that we are going to be using. As you can observe, we are going to be using while displaying the output, we are going to be using cout extraction operator and in double quotes, and we are going to be entering the information as it is, and we are going to be using main function and header file. So it includes all things like special symbols, special words, special lines, special information, special data, what are the variables it includes. So set of rules it is going to be includes, and we are going to be using that one. Coming to the semantic rule, it provides the meanings for the instruction as well. So comments are for the reader, it's not just the compiler. There is two types of comments that we are going to be using. One is single line comment, another one is multiple line comment. If you want to use single line comment, just you can use it /, or otherwise if you want to use multiple line comment, just you can use /star, and then you can also use */ by the end of the multiple line comments. And then you can observe in this PPT there are the special symbols that we are going to be using in C++ programming, very few that I mentioned over here. One is plus, minus, and multiplication and division, and not is equal to, less than is equal to, as you can observe in this slide, just you can go to know. Here data types. The data types, what is this data type? It decides which type of data value that we are going to be assigning over here to certain operations. There is three categories of kind of data types. One is integral data type, another one is floating point data type, another one is enumeration type. The integral data type, it's nothing but integers without decimals. The floating point data types, it contains a decimal numbers after integers. And for enumeration type, it is a user defined data type that we are going to be using in C++ programming. So as you can observe, there is a few simple data types that I mentioned over here, that is a int, bool, and character. The integer can store in the form of the bytes, that it will store 4 bytes in a memory. For boolean, there is a true and false. I hope that you guys know it's a logical values. True it consider a 1 and false it consider as a 0. So these it will store 1 byte in the memory allocation of the computer. And for character, it will store also 1 byte. Coming to the example, just you can observe these are the integer data type that we are going to be using, like -6728 and 078 and +763, like that. These are we can call as an integers without decimal points. And bool data type, I hope that you guys know what is bool data type that we are going to be using. One is true and the false. It's a logical values that we are going to be using. True it considered as a 1 and false it considered as a 0. And bool and true and false, these are the reserved words in C++ programming. So character data type, it is one of the smallest integral data type we are going to be using. So in single quotes, we can also mention letters and digits and special symbols. What are the things that we mentioned in the single quote that it will come under the character? So as you can observe in this slide, I mentioned here capital letter and small letter and integer and special symbols as well. If you can use within single quotes a white space, then it's going to be allocated a white space only, blank space. Now we will look upon that floating point data types as well. There is a three kind of data types in a floating point. One is float, another one is double floating point, another one is long double floating point. The float data type, it will store 4 bytes in a memory, while double floating point, it stores 8 bytes in a memory, while coming to the long double floating point, it will store 12 bytes in a memory. So here in a decimal point, if it is a 6 or 7, then we can consider it is a double floating point. If decimal number it's a 15 point or more than 15 or more than like 16 like that, we can consider it is a long double floating point. And we will look upon that what is the arithmetic operators and what is the order of precedence. So these are the arithmetic operators that we are going to be using. One is addition, subtraction and multiplication and division and modulus operator. While you are going to be evaluating for arithmetic operators, just you need to be follow some of the rules, like you can follow the PEDMAS rules. First, you need to give the preference to the parenthesis, and then after that you can provide the exponentiation, and then next you can provide the preference like division and multiplication and addition and subtraction. Just you can remember this name: PEDMAS, P for parentheses and E for exponentiation, D for division and M for multiplication and A for addition and subtraction. While you are going to be calculating, or computer is also going to be calculating according in this rule only. These are the one of the example that you can solve it, that is up to your task. You need to be do according like this. By using PEDMAS rule, you need to be calculate which type of the order of precedence that you need to be follow when operators you need to be do at a one time.